Hey YouTube. Hi, bear with me. I am getting ready for an online show, so I'm putting on makeup, but I wanted to talk about kind of like a realization that I've had. I need to get a new tripod. There's a lot of upgrades that need to be made with this channel. Okay, so I've just kind of come to realize, and I'm just now accepting what you probably could tell this whole time. I think I have chronic anxiety. Like, I don't know if it's GAD level, but I have like a chronic anxiety. And it just feels like as I start dealing with, as I start identifying and dealing with my mental health issues, more and more become revealed to me. Right? Like, first I was dealing with my ADHD and attacking that and figuring out what to do with that. This is Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer by Create Linden. This was a free sample. Right? So I got my ADHD under control, and then I realized I have really bad depression. And thanks to the ketamine treatments and ketamine assisted therapy, the depression, I have a game plan for the depression. I was having anxiety attacks, and thanks to the ketamine assisted therapy, the anxiety attacks have been under control, right? And I'm thinking, I should be good as new. I should be like ready to go with life. And then somebody sends me a text message. It's a colleague, somebody who is in one of my industries. I'm not going to talk much yet about what industry one of my businesses is in. Let's just say that it's an industry that's very similar to real estate, okay? So sales and competition and a lot of ego-driven people in this industry, yada, yada, yada. And I used to be like very competitive. I used to be really good at what I do. And somebody was like, yeah, I miss seeing what you can do in this industry. Like, basically saying I miss you being competitive. I miss you, like, you know, stirring competition and all that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't even thought about business in a really long time. I've been focused on getting my mental health together, and I just was thinking to myself, well, my mental health now is supposedly together. My mental health is, you know, the most together it has ever been. Why do I just feel like I have no desire to work, to, you know, to get into business, you know, all the things that come with business. It is stressful. But in some ways, I used to think it was fun. I used to think the competition was fun. I used to be so driven. Like, if you watch my old YouTube videos, you can see it. I was so driven. I was so like, I'm gonna do this. I was so And now that is gone. Like, it's gone. It's gone. I don't think I should even like try to get it back. I don't know if it's worth trying to get it back. And I was thinking, why do I feel this way? I was just trying to think deeper. Like, why am I not even interested in like my business at all? And at first I was like, well, I was getting over certain traumas associated with people I was working with at a certain time. And I just had all these excuses, right? And now it's like, well, actually, now I don't know what the excuse is. And I got this feeling in the pit of my stomach. Just this like sinking feeling, just. And I kind of thought to myself, is this feeling preventing me from like having that drive? This feeling, I noticed that it just never goes away. And then I kind of started to realize, I have this feeling like all the time. Like all the time, I have this feeling. The sinking feeling. I have it all the time. And I started to wonder, dang, I need to get a concealer brush. I started thinking about, dang, this anxiety doesn't go away. Like, the panic attacks are under control, and I was just thankful for that. But now I'm feeling and sensing that I'm always anxious. Like, I always have this anxiety. And the only time I don't have this anxiety is when we're actually in trouble. Like, I'm one of those fight or flight people. Like, when trouble is actually around, that's when I get into my, you go here, and I just seem cool, calm, collected. But I'm like, that's not life though. Like, life is not always life or death situations. Like, I can't live a life where the only time I feel fully myself is when it's a high stress life or death situation. Like, that's not life. That can't be what we're doing. And the only thing that makes sense to me is that I have chronic anxiety. Like, chronic. What time is it? I have 15 minutes. And it's like, okay, I don't even know what to do. I have never like actively tried to treat or deal with this type of problem. I've never actively had to treat or think about or deal with chronic anxiety. Because I didn't realize that's what I had, or that was a problem. I just thought I had like these acute panic attacks every now and then that would get, more frequent depending on the situation. That's what I thought. And now I'm like coming to grips with, actually, you have a low grade anxiety all the time. And taking my ADHD medication does help. It does help reduce that anxiety, but the fact is, it's still there. It's there. She's here to stay. She's here. And she's been here for as long as I can remember. And I just remember, like, all of my youth and adolescent life, I was just thinking, don't worry, Joka. When you have this, then it'll be different. When you have money, it'll be different. When you're in college, it'll be different. Like, there was just always some milestone in life that, okay, if I just get that in order, then life will be different. Life will be good. I'll feel normal. And that time it just never comes. It never comes. It doesn't come. I always have this anxiety, and it makes it so I don't have as strong relationships as I should. As you know, as a human being, you should have strong relationships. It's good to have a good core group of people. It's good to go out and see people and visit people and show people that you care about them. Like, all of this stuff is good. All of this stuff is good, and I don't do it because it's anxiety. Okay? This needs to be plumped, a little bit plump here. If I ever get fillers, I need to put it right here. And I don't know what to do. I don't want to take anxiety medication. I don't feel like it's severe enough for anxiety medication. And I don't know if anxiety medication will help. I've never had a professional, well, I mean, the few times a professional has given me anxiety medication, it just wasn't it. So now I'm like, oh my God. I have unlocked a new mental health insecurity that's loverly. Now, one thing I am learning to do is I'm learning to, like, in the moments where I recognize I'm having the anxiety, I do my five senses. It brings me back to reality. It grounds me. If you don't know the five senses technique, Google it. It's really good. But now I'm like, okay, but that's just for in the moment. But what about just for my life? You know what I mean? Just like when you're living everyday life, what about for that? And I'm like, maybe I need to do meditation. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just do some meditation, right? And I've meditated before, like on a consistent basis. I've done meditation. And like, it doesn't hurt. I didn't feel like it helped, like significantly, like enough for me to be like, I need to meditate. You know, the same way that I'm like, I need to exercise. But then again, I have never been so self-aware before. I've never been so in tune and self-aware of my mental health and what's going on internally. So I feel like maybe, you know, it might be worth, and only good things come from meditating. I mean, as long as you're not like severely depressed or have severe anxiety, it's pretty much only good things that come when you do meditation. So let me put a little bit more blush. We gotta do NARS. We gotta do NARS when we're on camera. We gotta do NARS blush on camera. Otherwise, she doesn't show up. I'm gonna do some here. Yep. Thank you. Gotta do some here. It's too dark right there. So I'm gonna start meditating. Let's see what I want to do for eyes. Let's keep it really basic. Let's just do bronzer for eyes And we'll do some falsies. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing meditation on a regular basis and journaling. And the one thing about anxiety that I'm starting to learn is you have to like be cool with it. Like you have to like, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I wish this anxiety would go away. She doesn't go away. She doesn't go away. Anxiety is not like depression where you can say, I wish you can go away, depression, and you can find something that could make it go away. Anxiety is not like that. And I don't do recreational stuff. So I don't know if like, I don't know if that kind of stuff helps, but I don't do that. So I don't have that option. CBD, I've tried CBD. I've tried so many things and they don't really help. They don't really help. They don't. So the only thing left to do is you just have to accept her. You have to accept that anxiety is in the building. You have to accept her. You have to acknowledge that she's there. And you have to learn to not freak out when she's there. You have to be chill with it. And I believe, I'm not picking my nose, it's just itchy right here. I believe that like over time, the more tools you learn and how to manage her, the more tools you learn with how to manage her, the less you feel her. That's my theory, okay? So literally, like, even right now, as I speak, I'm having anxiety. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, girl. Like, literally, I have to be like, hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? I was finally able to respond to some old text messages that I have been procrastinating on because of anxiety. Because I was like, hey, girl, how you doing? I know you're here. And like, it's so counterintuitive, but that helps reduce the anxiety feeling. So here we go. Right? Like, here we go. Another friggin' mental health adventure. I don't like how I placed this one. But listen, this is good enough because I need to go on camera like now. Oh gosh, I need some new brushes. I'm going on camera, let me do lips. So, this is so awesome. This is not the lip color I wanted. That's what we'll do. We'll do it. Yeah, so I have anxiety, y'all. I have her. I thought she would go away, and she didn't. She let it be known that she's here to stay. She's not here to play. And I'm gonna learn how to deal with it. I have one more therapy session with K assisted talk therapy. I'm gonna let her know that I've just come to realize that I have a chronic. I need more blush. If the lips are gonna be this pink, I don't know. I feel like this blush just does not friggin' show up on camera. Okay. Well, it showed up there. Oh, I feel like it's so patchy. It's not blended. Don't worry, y'all. I will figure out how to do makeup. I will learn how to do makeup. I will figure it out one of these days. And one of these days, I will figure it out. I need to go on camera leg now. But yeah, I'm gonna tell my therapist that I just realized that I have this anxiety that I thought was situational is actually chronic. And see what she says. But this is just me acknowledging that I have chronic anxiety. It's probably because I got my behind beat on a daily basis as a child. I felt like I could never do anything right. I was constantly afraid of being chastised or beat for doing something wrong. My whole childhood was me doing my very best, being proud of myself, only to realize it's absolute crap. It makes me really sad. I thought it was, I thought I had grown out of it. I thought I did enough therapy for it. And now I'm realizing, no, I have chronic anxiety, and it's probably because of that. So that also helps me to chill when the anxiety comes in. That helps me to chill because I just am remembering it's because when I was a kid, yeah. And that can't be helped. That couldn't have been helped. There's literally nothing I could have done. And that helps me to chill out. So, all right. I am ready for the camera. Thanks for listening to my little rants. And until next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.